Here we are at Good Games Hobart again. There you can see the owner Mike making one of his incredible pizzas. They also do great coffees, great everything actually. And here's John and I setting up our table to play part 2 from last week's game. Hopefully we've got everything roundabout right. We haven't we haven't put our miniatures onto the table as they were, just getting all of the scenery right at the moment. I said, as you remember, John's Indians are going to be coming on very soon. So I think the British are going to have a win, but it should still be a good game. And if our game finishes too early, I've brought some Saga miniatures, so we may have a game of Saga if time allows. Keep you informed. Next video, we actually forgot to do a bit of a summary after our last tiffin. We've only had one tiffin come out. My Indians are moving through. John lost a unit to fisticuffs here. I've lost a unit almost down, apart from one man who's running away here. So John on his left flank now is down to his three rangers. His regulars here are still holding the middle of the table really well, and they have forced my regulars back quite a bit. They're really becoming ineffective. My Marines here are doing okay. They've copped minimal damage, unlike John's group up here who are really becoming a little bit ineffective. His Scots now are here. His Indians are on the table, and John has deployed them in such a way that, not until after he moved, the bear is within 4 inches. So we are about to roll. So the bear is now going to move into fisticuffs. And the bear is going to attack John with 8d6, because it was 6d6 plus 2 for aggression, and John will be rolling his one here for his tribe, and we'll let you know how it goes. After entering fisticuffs with John's Indians, John lost 3 men. On the fly, we realised we didn't know how many wounds the bear would have, so we decided on the fly that the bear would have 6 wounds. On the first round of fisticuffs, he took 5 wounds. So it went into a second round. We determined that there would be no withdrawal by the bear. So he entered into a new round, and John made the final killing wound on the bear, but not until he lost 3 men and suffered 2 points of shock.
Oh, now they have thrown their tomahawks. These guys haven't.
Yep.
So okay. Tell me if I can do that. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm looking at you, John. That's okay.
Hello. This group, under the command of the Indian leader, is going to charge that group.
Yep.
To get into fisticuffs.
Yep.
This group.
Yep.
Under his by direction.
So he's using one of his activations to move the rear group. His second activation.
No. They're going to go in support.
Okay.
So
we've been a little bit slow with a little bit lax, I should say, with doing our updates. My Indians now, they actually destroyed one of John's regular skirmish units. My Marines here copped a hammering. They're down to 1 unit of 2 men with plenty of shock and a dog. My regulars have managed to get rid of some shock thanks to their level 3 officer, and they managed to wheel just in time to receive a charge with tomahawk. Well, that front unit is charged with tomahawks. The rear unit has already used their tomahawks. I've just taken some shock from those guys, so it's still really on the balance. John's got a unit over here that aren't doing anything. They're just trying to rally now. This guy here is still running away. This unit here is doing okay. They haven't really had much of their trips drawn, so they're not doing too much at the moment. My Coeur de Bois are now firing back at the last of John's Rangers, and my Indians hopefully can close in, finish off John's regulars, and then maybe come over and do something with the Indians there. And his officer is still injured. He has to roll a 5 or 6 every time he's activated, and he's yet to get up. A definite change in the battle. I had 4 command flags out, which allowed me to move my Indians charged at John's regulars, including his level 3 officer, and destroyed them. This second group of Indians, which are only in support, still haven't thrown their tomahawks yet. So now my aim is to get over to here and destroy John's Indians here, getting that second group in to use their tomahawks. They've just drawn their chip blue 6, which means they now get to, that was their bonus activation, now that's their activation. The rest of my guys, my regulars, have been destroyed. I've got a couple of units here who could, really at the moment are just holding off the last of John's rangers. They could come into action. And John has just conceded defeat. There was a fair bit of fisticuffs going on in the central woods with my Indians and John's Indians, and eventually they have broken and basically run off the field. Had two not bad Indian groups here. They'd copped a fair few injuries, a fair few deaths, but luckily held. So both of John's Indians were running away. His Scottish officer, Highland officer, just couldn't get up off the ground. He couldn't roll a 5 or a 6. His unit here had far too much shock to be effective. His rangers here are actually doing okay. They ensured that my coup de bois here had to keep them engaged, had to stay there, so they couldn't do anything else. These guys here, I don't know what happened, but their chip just wasn't coming out. My officer didn't cop any further shock, so he was slowly rallying that unit. And this guy here didn't move any further off the board.
Don't know yet.
And these guys here were basically just rallying as well. Good game all round. I think the bear, John, what do you think? That bear really had an impact on you, didn't it?
Yeah, wonderful.
And
yes.
your Highland officer falling off into the heather, going for it, rolling in the gloaming, yeah.
Yeah, and overall, look, at just a wonderful day for the British and their allies.
Yeah, good game though, mate. I think it was agreed that it was a win for the French.
No, look, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, same here. Against all odds, I actually thought coming into today that the British had the upper hand, but bear and a few other bits and pieces, and yeah, it was a win for the French against the odds. After John, it was his Rangers that appeared here. It was his Indians last week that appeared here.
After
and yet
the treaty?
After the treaty, yet I've still managed to get on John's flank here. My Indians then rolled through his regulars that were here, and then moved over and destroyed his Indians here for the win. Great game.